Growing tomatoes is not hard, so here are a few tips on how beginner gardeners can have better success with growing tomatoes. Number 1. Choose the right variety. There are many varieties of tomatoes to choose from, such as determinate, indeterminate, cherry, beefsteak, and heirloom tomatoes. When choosing a variety, consider the climate in your area and the size of your garden. You should look up your growing zone so you know when's the best time to plant your tomatoes. It's a good idea to start with a variety that is easy to grow and disease resistant, such as celebrity or early grow. Number 2, start with healthy plants. You can either start your tomato plants from seeds, which will require you to start them inside a few weeks before your last frost date, or you can buy seedlings from a nursery or garden center. Make sure the seedlings are healthy and disease free. Look for plants with sturdy stems, deep green leaves, and no signs of yellowing or wilting. Number 3, choose the right location. Tomatoes need about 8 hours of sunlight a day, so choose a spot in your garden that gets plenty of sun. The soil should be well draining and rich in organic matter. If your soil is poor, you can improve it by adding compost and other organic amendments. Adding too much compost can cause an overdose on phosphorus levels, which can be bad for your garden. So it's a good idea to get a soil test every couple of years. A soil test can help you decide on what kind of soil amendments to add to your garden. Number 4, plant your tomatoes deep. You can either plant them sideways or dig a hole a little extra deep. The bottom line is to make sure a good portion of the stem is buried. Make sure you remove all the lower leaves and place the plant in the hole. This will encourage the plant to develop a strong root system, since roots will develop along that buried stem. We planted our tomatoes in a zigzag pattern with principles of square foot gardening in mind. The basic concept of square foot gardening is to give your plants about 1 square foot of space. This will allow us to plant more tomatoes in one space. Number 5, be consistent with watering. Tomatoes need regular watering, especially during hot and dry weather. Water deeply once or twice a week, making sure the soil is evenly moist but not waterlogged. Tomato plants need 1 to 2 inches of water a week. Avoid watering the leaves, as this can promote fungal diseases. Water at the base of the plant so the roots absorb that water. Don't water your leaves. Don't underwater or overwater your tomato plants, because this can lead to calcium deficiencies called blossom end rot. Blossom end rot happens when your plant cannot absorb enough calcium. This is not because there is not enough calcium in the soil, but because you are not watering consistently, so your plant cannot absorb the calcium that is already in the soil. Number 6, tomatoes love companions. Choose companions for your tomatoes that can help repel pests. We interplanted green onions with our tomatoes. Onions can help repel pests like aphids. Basil and marigolds are also great companions for tomatoes. They can help repel pests too. We plan on adding marigolds to our garden next week. Number 7, support your tomato plants. As your tomato plants grow, they will need support to keep them from falling over. You can use stakes, cages, or trellises to support your tomato plants. Large cages are a good option for determinate varieties, while stakes or trellises work well for indeterminate varieties. Number 8, fertilize your tomatoes. Tomatoes are heavy feeders and will benefit from regular fertilization. You can use a balanced fertilizer. I use an organic fertilizer. I'm fertilizing my tomato plants about every month. Number 9, monitor for pests and diseases. You can keep a journal to keep track of what kind of diseases are around in your garden. Keep an eye out for diseases and pests that can affect your tomato plants, such as aphids, tomato hornworms, and fungus diseases like blight. Inspect your plants regularly and take action if you notice any signs of damage. By following these tips, you can grow healthy and productive tomato plants in your garden. Good luck and happy gardening!